Good afternoon. I'm Karin Strasser Kauffman. I'm a longtime Carmel Valley resident, a former county supervisor, and current candidate for the pro-town slate in Carmel Valley. In closing, I want to emphasize that this is not about money. This hearing is not about money, and our dialogue in Carmel Valley, which is very intense right now, is not about money ultimately. Finances are stressed here because Mr. Lunding has made that the focus of his misrepresentations over the last several years. Money is just a starting point. It's a guarantee to you, the county, and to the state of California that ours is a sound endeavor and you're not going to wind up having to pick up the pieces. All the vetted analyses that have been done show that a town of Carmel Valley is fiscally sound and without new taxes. New taxes are not needed. We'll have a solid surplus, and they're not going to happen. They're not going to happen because we have Prop 13, and the state of California's folks aren't going to change that. We have a regulation that limits property tax increase. It's also not going to happen because Prop 218, as you're well aware, requires a vote of the people, a majority, and in most cases, a supermajority vote of the people to raise any kind of tax. Knowing Carmel Valley, it's not going to happen. That's not likely to happen. So much for an increase of taxes. What this is all about is local control, local decision making. We're a small river valley, but there are big stakes because there is so much open space. There are big stakes in terms of land use development and impacts on the people and impacts on the environment. We're only 12,000 people. We're a small burg. There's no big city hall or gigantic courthouse proposed. There's already available rented office space, large community rooms that we can use for town hall meeting. It's all available. It's already there. It doesn't have to be built or processed. What we do need is protection and attention to the rural atmosphere which would make our town quite different from other cities and towns now established in Monterey County, and it is worth preserving. That's a matter of zoning and development approval, as you know. Now, the last intense valley-wide debate on this subject in our community took place 25 years ago, and it was worse than now, because this will get worse before the election. We had intense discussions, and those discussions resulted in my election to the Monterey County Board of Supervisors, and subsequently the adoption of the Carmel Valley Master Plan, the most environmentally protective and the most restrictive area plan that Monterey County has. It was then, and it still is. However, in recent years, the key policies of the Carmel Valley Master Plan and public participation by Valleyites in your hearings and in sessions have been either ignored or overruled or both. Much development has been approved despite water and traffic constraints, and there's more in the pipeline. There's considerably more in the pipeline. So, whoa, at this point, we need local control to determine what's appropriate and at what speed for this little community. What's appropriate and at what speed? It's clear that the long overdue revision and implementation of our next Carmel Valley Master Plan, which right now is in your hands, needs to take place at home in our little town, the result of dialogue, debate, consensus among folks who live and work in Carmel Valley and their own local representatives. Representatives who can be held to account and will be held to account.